Waratahs have come back from the dead.
An Aussie Super Rugby Derby finally aiming up.
What a comeback.
Really proud of the guys. Like, where's that been sort of thing, coming off that.
I'm really thrilled for the boys, gives them a great deal of confidence.
Someone had to leave here with not feeling good about themselves, and it's going to be us going through that. So you've got to win your local derbies, you've got to win them at home.
To have a bit of release and play how we've been training for so long is just really rewarding.
Darryl really read us the riot act there at half-time, and he said our season was on the line.
We had him on the ropes there at half-time. We had him on the ropes in the first 7 minutes there, and then picked up the first try, and then momentum, then a few more blokes missing, and that's what happens.
I mean, we've had belief for a lot of games, and we've stuck in games and haven't got to the point where we're at tonight. Like, we're having injuries as well. It's footy, it's tough. It's like we're in 5 weeks into the season, and it's getting harder and harder each week. There's no easy game, so I'm really proud of the guys lifting and the guys getting opportunity and sticking their hands up.
Oh, what a game as we welcome Waratahs captain Micheal Hooper to Super Rugby Kick and Chase. Thanks for joining us. What was it? What happened at half-time? What sparked that turnaround? Somebody said something? Somebody did something? What was it?
Yeah, I think, Darryl came in pretty hot out of the coach's box. So he gave us a lot to think about, and a lot of big picture stuff to think about. He throwed, where our season was at that point, how we're going in the game, how none of our training was showing in our footy up until that point. And on top of that, some leaders in the group stepping up, Dean Mumm, Bernard Foley, really putting their hands up and being heard.
Is that leadership what's been missing in the first 4 weeks of the competition?
No, I think we've had a strong leadership group. What's been hard is to put it out on the field. I've been saying it and sound like I'm banging my head against the wall. We've been training well. We have been training well. Guys have been putting their hands up in training. It just hasn't been happening in the game. So I was really happy for them to get that reward.
And mate, Izzy Folau switched back to fullback. Did you feel he sat better there than at 13?
Oh, I think he's a handful everywhere. I'm a fan of him at 13 as well. But look, time, ball in hand for him is what he wants. It's what we want as a team, and it poses a lot of questions for the opposition.
Look, quite exciting as a local derby. How would you compare that with what you're going into now against a couple of New Zealand teams? Obviously, you guys barred up in the second half, but was it fun there? And how do you take that into the next couple of games?
Yeah, it certainly was fun to finally get that reward out on the field and get a win. We love playing Kiwi teams. Our style of play suited to playing Kiwi teams, and there's no better challenge currently in the Kiwi Conference than the Crusaders. Undefeated so far this season. Had a few games similar to us with a few good comebacks, slow starts, but look, they're a fantastic outfit year in, year out. The benefit for us is we get them on Sunday Arvo at 4 o'clock.
Just want to take you to some of the criticism you copped after the first month, and certainly in the lead up to last weekend's game, it was pretty hefty. The guys really did, when I say guys, some of the press really did get stuck in. Peter Fitzsimons in the SMH Saturday week ago, I was there, watched it closely from first to last. This was a game against the Brumbies. Still can't quite get over just how appalling, how dispiriting, how gut-wrenchingly awful the whole thing was. I think Greg Growden on ESPN got stuck in as well. The Waratahs have begun 2017 exactly as they finished 2016, lacking focus, momentum, direction, or a distinctive playing style. Did some of that really resonate with you guys? And you're probably going to say that you don't read the papers, but the message must have got through. Did you feel that leading up to last week?
The disappointment doesn't come from the press giving you that. It comes from yourself. Comes from the team not being able to do what it wants to do and win games ultimately. So that stuff, while yes, I say we do not read the press for good reason, we're dirty at ourselves, we're annoyed at ourselves for not being able to get the job done. So that takes a backward seat to how you feel personally.
You must have been happy from one point of view to see Bernard Foley return in such impressive fashion. He is our Land Rover player of the week this week. And well, what did you make of his comeback after a month of no Super Rugby to be able to hit the ground running like he did?
Yeah, a month of not too much rugby on the field and not too much training as well. So it shows you the type of player he is, the type of player he is out in his career as well. So I've just been happy for him, the fact he could come back and light up and do it on, when the lights are turned on. I was really proud of him.
Yeah, so obviously in doubt this weekend, we saw a really big tackle there on Korobidi. He wasn't afraid to put his body on the line during the game, but can you give us any report on how he's feeling and if he will play this weekend?
I think the tough thing about head injury is it is, uncharted waters. While he's been, training in bits and, spits and spats, I think over the past couple of weeks, he's been really good. He's been putting on hits at training. He just hasn't been, been right in other parts. So I feel for him because, I just want to see him play and see him happy, and he hasn't been able to do that in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, very frustrating.
You must feel for him on a couple of levels, really, because, you're great mates. So there's a personal thing and you're wondering, what his future is, but also how important he is for the team. Is it difficult emotionally to think that a guy's, I don't know whether I'm overstating it, perhaps his immediate career anyway is in the balance if this keeps happening?
I think he's shown his class for years to come. So I don't think, he could miss a couple of games. He could not. He could turn around tomorrow, wake up. That's the thing with head injury. He could wake up tomorrow morning and be good to go. So I just want to see him get better. I want to see him play and be the burner we all know and love.
Indeed. Second that. It was a hell of a game to watch. And thanks to Geordie Reid and the Rebels, we can get a sense of what it was like to be out there, to be a part of it.
One here. Watch the pick and go. Box. Oh, it's. One. Go. Gordon. On a fifth. One. Oh, it's the Kofi short. Watch out the back. Oh, it's on the jet. Right, Ray, Fred. Rush.
Put it on Izzy. I'll hunt on the inside.
Okay.
Missed him there.
I just need to wrap him.
Lay it back and Hodge. Step in! Reece Hodge! They won't put a hand on him. And the Rebels, they found a hole. And it was Reece Hodge who gets his first try of the season.
They're hurting, boys. We live in this. We live in this, eh? They're hurting. Soft, soft, soft. You gotta go soft there, bro. I had to look at the sky coming short. Where is it? That was f***ing me then. That was me. Back, bro. Oh. Am I back on? Oh.
Anything? Can we help you in any way?
What position? Am I on?
Well, there's no Dominic Day because he's failed a concussion test. So Geordie Reid, who was replaced, has to make his way back out there.
Let's go.
Come back on, are you?
Sorry, what do we got? You're hitting me first anyway. Hogger. Me. Hogger. Chop him!
Almost through again, the Waratahs. Wide they go, and Horwitz, he throws the dummy, and Horwitz is over, and Horwitz has scored what just might be the winning try for the New South Wales Waratahs.
Well, Hoops, it must have been nice to be out against your old Manly mate out there, and he didn't say much. He's obviously focusing on his job as a back rower. Was there any banter there, though? And what's your kind of take on the communication when you're out on the field?
Yeah, I think in the back row position, you're usually breathing pretty hard most of the time running around. So I heard a lot of breathing there. But just a little chat's really interesting to hear what they call things, how they see the game. You know, Geordie's been fantastic in the last couple of weeks. Him and Colby have been really good in that back row position. So, you know, interesting to see their side of communication.
Manahi Murphy's been fantastic for them as well. You probably heard us talking earlier about the future of the Western Force and indeed the future of 5 teams in the Australian Conference. What's your take on that? I know what the union says about it, the Rugby Union Players Association, but what's your take on it?
Yes, I've been, you know, everyone's being asked this question at the moment, and I've been asked it before, and I still stand in the same opinion that, you know, Australia's better with 5 teams. They're strong with 5 teams, and we've got the depth of players to have 5 teams in the competition.
I think a really interesting thing to think about as well, if the Force hypothetically does get scrapped, do you think it will then send all that group of players overseas to France and England and make their competition stronger when they don't have a pathway in Australian rugby?
It's really hard. It is really hard to say. I mean, there's so many ifs and what could happen, you know, at the moment. You know, I don't know what the foreseeable future is going to be. I don't think anyone really knows. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see.
I just want to go back to that game quickly, and we had him here last week, Ned Hennigan. Were you happy with the way he went?
Yeah, I was really happy for Ned. You know, happy for him to get the opportunity to then convert it. You know, he talks a lot, but he was fantastic and brought all that energy and that talk onto the field. I was also really happy with Dave Horwitz.
Yeah. Something that we've been kicking around the office, and it seemed to be anecdotally that maybe there's more TMO involvement this year, and I think, Kearnsy, you called the Reds and the Jaguares on the weekend. 14 TMO reviews over the weekend, totalling 24 minutes and 44 seconds of time lost.
Wow.
And that's compared to an average of 9 reviews per round for the first month. So, yes, there has been a spike. Have you been feeling that there's more time spent standing around waiting for TMOs to give their verdict?
In the rugby league, I have. The rugby union. You know, sometimes you do feel more often than not they are going upstairs. You do want the right decision. Like, you'd hate to be a game decided on a wrong decision. However, they've got 3 referees out there who, you know, all those eyes on it that should be able to get it right, and you back them to get the right call.
Do you feel any pressure? Like, do you factor in the kick and chase influence? Like Ned Hennigan was here last week, scored a wonderful try in the weekend. You're known as a bit of a try-scoring forward. Does this put pressure on you for next week?
Oh yeah, if I could get any of that, I'd love something. I only got 1 this season, so a double would be nice this week. Yeah,
happy to help.
You are an idiot. You are an idiot. As of this weekend now, there are a big push, or is a big push rather, for bilingual TMOs, bilingual referees. Perhaps it was certainly something lost in translation in Singapore this weekend.
はい、OK です。
コーチ
はい、not clearly offside, no
Okay.
offside.
Okay.
You was a try.
Okay, so no try. I'm going to my advantage for penalty. Okay.
So no offside. You may award the try, and then Anselmi from Argentina says, well, so offside, no. Yeah.
Can I award the penalty?
Can we get it sorted? Do you reckon we could get it sorted?
It did take a couple of listens for me to understand what old mate said. Then I've got to say,
correct.
I feel sorry for the Argentine.
Hey, doesn't get any easier this weekend, but you must be absolutely stoked about what's to come.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, 2 Kiwi teams. I love playing both the Crusaders and Hurricanes, especially over there. So we do well against Kiwi teams. We're excited about the future.
How are you preparing for the Crusaders? What do you see as their strengths, Hoops?
Well, they're an 80-minute team. We've seen that, so we've got to prepare both starters and finishers. You know, like it's a final. These guys are, you know, a hot team at the moment. So our stuff really does work against them, and it's about negating what they can do. They're great off the kick chase, like the show. You know, we're interested to see what they throw at us, but we're excited about what we can try and diffuse them a bit.
There's certainly a feeling after last weekend that you guys are certainly heading in the right direction. So I know there's a big rugby community here in New South Wales who hopes that's the case. Well done. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Cheers.
Good stuff.